All right. Good morning, everybody. 11 o'clock is here in Iowa. Been a rainy morning, but now all of a sudden the sun is peeking out. And so that's always exciting and hopeful. And I wish we had a more exciting and hopeful topic today. However, there's been just a rampant acceleration in the number of scams and the number of ways that people are being defrauded. And so I just thought this would be a prescient topic for us to discuss and hopefully share some ideas that will help you, that will help your family, and that will keep all of us safer, because this is becoming a problem that's affecting everyone. And so to that end, I kind of like to start with polls. So I'd like to go ahead and launch one here. And this is, have you or a family member ever been a victim of a fraud or a scam? And so again, family, whatever, just something is any of that ever gone on in your life that you have a personal experience with? I'll give everybody a second here. Or about 2 more seconds. All right, I'm going to close the poll. So of our attendees today, 67% have not been subject of fraud or a scam, and 33% have. And so that's good news that the majority have not. Hopefully what we discussed today will help even more so that that doesn't happen to anyone here in the future. But I'm going to share today a few things that you can do to protect yourself, some scams that I've learned about that I didn't even know existed, and then just a few things to be looking out for. Scamming is not, based on age, based on anything. There is a whole section of the Justice Department that focuses on elder scams, because they appear to be the ones that you most hear about, and where lots of financial affairs have been interfered with, and that. So anyway, there appears to be more enforcement going on in that area. But I'm going to go ahead and share some slides here with you and just kind of talk about here cyber protection in the new era. And then I've got a few videos that we'll be sharing as well today, including an interview with somebody who worked for me that was beginning to get scammed, but thankfully was able to defuse it before it took place. So cyber protection in this new era. So we've got our disclosure screen here for everybody. So according to AARP, 8.8 billion lost to scams last year in 2022. When you put that out in numbers that you write out, it's staggering. And frankly, it makes me angry that people would take so much time and effort to hurt their fellow human beings by stealing money from them via frauds and scams. But getting angry doesn't change anything. So on the flip side then of being irritated and upset by all that's going on, it's like, how can we deal with this? And so I am not a cybersecurity expert. I would never pretend that I am, but I've done some research in this area. I've heard from a lot of you things that have happened, ways that perhaps someone was trying to scam you, or you had something happen in your family that got you on alert for these kind of things. And then I've found some resources that I'm hoping to share. So again, just a broad overview of things that are going on out there, ways to protect yourselves, and just things to be thinking about. So many different ways now to get scammed. Clickbait. So you're on a website and it says, click this link for more information. A lot of that stuff is legit. I took a class on cybersecurity. They talked a lot about this clickbait. Well, now Google in particular, if you look at the top page, so let's say you punch in a search for new tires, the top 4 or 5 people that come up to have you click on look for their tires are sponsors. And now it says sponsored right on it. So they're paying for that ad placement to come up first in your feed. So again, not something that's wrong, but just understand that those are ads that they're paying for that. So if you want a more objective search, in many cases, you'll have to scroll down to find that. And so like our firewall here at PrairieFire does not allow us to click on anything like that that's sponsored, that clickbait. So we have to, define our search a little bit better, find areas where ads haven't been paid for. And so I get solicited all the time to advertise PrairieFire on Google or on these search engines. And so again, it's not something that's going to cause you any fraud or anything, but just be aware that the search that you're getting is somebody is targeting you. And then what you might also find is when you click on these ads, then throughout your feed in perpetuity, you're going to see even more and more ads. So if you go to a specific website of tires.com, then the next time you're in doing anything else, all of a sudden an ad for tires.com comes up. So they've collected that cookie data and then are going to begin advertising to you, which can be incredibly annoying. So in some cases, not clicking on the clickbait and just doing a scroll through of trying to find out what you can without clicking into the site can be helpful. Otherwise, just know that all that's being aware or being collected, and that most websites do have to ask you if it's okay to collect cookies, and you can say no. So again, they wouldn't follow up with you then, that kind of thing. Text messages. I'm getting one every night, 1:30, 2 o'clock a.m., announcing that my Netflix membership has been expired. And if I want to renew it, I've got to click on this message in there. So these text message scams are growing and growing. And once they get your number, you can even report them as junk when you delete them, but it doesn't seem to matter because they use a new number all the time. Other ones that we're getting are things like from FedEx, texting saying your delivery's been delayed. Click on this link to update it. So one of the big messages I want to send to you today is to go to the source. If you're getting a text message that says it's UPS or FedEx, go to their website or call their headquarters and make sure this is actually coming from them before you click on anything in these text messages or emails. So the phone calls and all that we'll talk about as well. But texting, now that once they get your number, they're able to use that in so many different ways to try to get information from you. So number one, question everything. It's too bad that this is the way it has to be, but this is the way that we have to protect ourselves online, is when you get a text message that's asking for you to click on a link, make sure you understand the source and that you're not clicking on something that will allow them to get into your phone and gather your information, because that's what these ransomware and spyware programs are trying to do. Get you to click on this. They can then somehow get access to your phone to pull down passwords. I was reading this morning that somebody clicked on something like this, and they were able to get in their computer, change their Apple ID password, and all of a sudden they can't get into their phone at all anymore. It's completely locked, and they've lost photos, and people are able to get into bank accounts, all of that. So the text messages, you have to be very careful. Even more so in email. This has been going on since email originated. We first remember the scams where we'd get an email from a guy in Nigeria that wanted us to wire money to help them get into the country, or it was always these wonky things and it had strange language. You could usually tell by the way the verbatim went or what they were asking for that it was a scam. Well, they've gotten much, much better via these email scams at getting you to do things that will put you in their purview and give them a chance to defraud you. So every email link that you're thinking about clicking on, you need to check and again go back to the source. So if you see something I just got one from the Geek Squad at Best Buy. I haven't purchased anything at Best Buy in a long time. So that made me cautious, and it says you have a bill coming due of $360. And so if you don't want this Geek Squad renewal, click on this link or call this number. Well, I isolated the email and took a look at it. It was actually a picture. It wasn't actually an email. And so what they were trying to get me to do was to call that number, where they would then try to extract funds from me somehow. I don't know exactly what they would have done, but it was clear that it wasn't legit. So in that case, if I'm getting a renewal notice that I don't understand, my best bet is to call Best Buy directly and say, I got this email, is it from you? And see what's going on. So again, clicking on these or calling the numbers they provide is not your best course of action, usually the one that's leading you to the fraudster instead of away from them. So there has recently been a scam through Norton Antivirus, same thing like this. So I'm going to share a video that I found on YouTube about this. I'm going to mute my microphone. The audio feed might be different than what you're hearing me come through, so you may need to turn it up or turn it down. So bear with me here just a moment. forgot to take myself off of mute. Thank you. All right. So yeah, there you have it. It was a scam that used an email offering a refund or, sorry. Here we go. Yeah, so offering a saying that it was going to be renewed, just like I was talking about with the Geek Squad one, where there's we need some more information. Once they get on their phone, they're able to get in your computer, make bank transfers, and perpetrate a fraud from there. So once again, just being aware that those are out there. So there's some other ones that I've learned about here in the last few weeks that I wanted to share with everyone, just because I felt like day to day, these wouldn't be ones that I would be thinking about or would have known about. And so the first is fake barcodes on gift cards. So if you go to the store and buy a gift card, we do this frequently for the kids, Starbucks cards, whatever, holidays, you know how that all goes. Well, law enforcement agencies warn that there's some nimble-fingered crooks that will affix fake barcodes to these gift cards. And so what they're able to do then is when you purchase the card, the cashier will fake the barcode at checkout, and then it directs money into the scanner's gift card account. So what you want to look for there is the packaging to be modified in any way. Rub your hand along the barcode to see if it's been stickered on over the original one, those kind of things. So with all those cards just sitting out in the public arena at the stores, like the grocery stores and places like that, it's very easy for scammers to kind of come and go and affix these on there. It seems like that would be noticed by the folks at the store, but as we know, they may not always be paying attention to that. So that would be one that you definitely want to be thinking about and paying attention to. If any of you are on LinkedIn, they will send out frequently these emails that says, "Hi, I'm interested in your experience, wondering if we could collaborate," or "I have a question for you." And it comes from LinkedIn member. It doesn't come from a person that you recognize. These are relationship fakes, and what they're trying to get you to do is to engage in a chat where they will then try to talk about crypto or to go off platform to communicate and bring you into potentially into a scam. I get 2 or 3 of these a day. And so they come in as a LinkedIn member. I never respond. You can usually tell, again, by the language, the way it's framed, the tone, that it's not something legitimate. So for those of you on LinkedIn, when you get these message requests, 9 times out of 10, they're not something that you want to pursue. This new one is coming from or people are getting a phone call when they have a package being delivered, or they're not aware that they have a package being delivered. It's called a package delivery scam. And so a driver will say, "Where's your house? I can't find it. I've got this package for you." And you'll say, "Well, I don't have anything coming." In many cases, they'll say, "Well, then it must be a gift. Somebody's giving you a gift." And so they're trying to get you to provide your personal information and or send you a link that they provide. So they'll say, "We want to update our information to get your UPS package there, or US Postal Service." And so then they'll get you to link where they can then use malware or spyware into your computer to get your passwords and your account information. So this is another one you want to go back to the source. If UPS says they're calling and has a package for you, tell them that you're going to call UPS to get that information, not take it from the delivery driver, because it sounds like this is how they perpetrate that. Another was this one-time password bot scam. So the credit reporting company Experian is warning that scammers utilize automated programs to deceive people into sharing the 2-factor authentication code that they receive through email from companies from like the bank or from Amazon. The computer will make a robocall or send a text message that appears to be from the bank and asking you to authorize a charge, and then it asks you to enter in the authentication code that you've been sent. Know that they don't ever ask for those. They send you those codes so that you can use them on their site only. So never share them or provide other information, especially if it comes from an unsolicited phone call or a text message. So this one then is just sad, the puppy purchase scam. Scammers try to exploit dog lovers by offering cute puppies for sale. And so in an instance documented by the Better Business Bureau, a woman paid $850 for a Dalmatian puppy and then received additional requests for money like travel insurance, a special crate. In the end, she paid $2,200 and never got the puppy, which didn't actually even exist. So obviously there, it's making sure you're dealing with a reputable company and someone that you can trust. So the areas of scams are only growing. Now, many of you have probably heard on the news about artificial intelligence and this chat GPT application that's available. So what people are able to do through artificial intelligence is somehow emulate our loved ones' voices so that they can put someone on a phone that sounds like your son, your daughter, your father, your mother, your brother or sister, people in your family network, and explain that they're in some sort of distress and need money, or can you give me that account number because I can't get access to it, or can you send me an initial credit card because I lost it? And they sound like you're the person in your family. And so the tools are just getting better and better. So in our family, we've decided to protect ourselves from a scam like that by using a family word that only the six of us know. And that way we can communicate and say, all right, well, what's our family word? And if they can't come up with that, it's most likely a computer or somebody wanting to cause malfeasance. So it's scary because they can make the voice sound just like the person that says that they're calling. And so the other alert on that would be is if the phone number isn't theirs. They call from a number and says, hey, I'm on my friend's phone. I need $100, Dad, because of this. And then at that time, you can say, well, all right, well, what's our family word? So that we're all protecting ourselves that way. So one little tip that hopefully will help. A few resources. I found a ton of good information on the AARP website. Yes, I'm giving away my age. I'm old enough for AARP. I'm a member. I like a lot of their personal finance articles. I share a lot of them with PrairieFire folks in our writings and things like that. So they have a full fraud protection area in their website. So I'd encourage you to go there. The government's got a site set up called stopfraud.gov. If you're a victim of a scam, you can put that information in there and get it reported so that it helps other people. Things like this Norton antivirus scam, the fake kidnapping scams, all of that stuff is listed in there and how to protect yourself and also get help. And then the Office for Victims of Crime is designed just for this purpose, to help people that have been scammed, help them either protect themselves in the future or track down leads of where maybe cash was sent, things like that, to help victims of the crime set up to the government. And then anytime you've been defrauded, it's a good idea to open a police report. In many cases, you're not looking necessarily for restitution, but slowing them down for any future fraudulent activities. So lots of places to go. I have a number of copies of this still in the office called Hack Proof Your Life Now. This is very specific to protecting yourself and your family, your phones, things like that. It's got different chapters and resources on secrecy, two-step processes to stop hackers, ways to build better passwords, how to guarantee never to pay extortion to cyber thieves. It's good, and it's been relatively recently updated. This is the second edition. So plenty of copies here in the office. If you'd like one, shoot a message to Lisa at PFW Planning, and we'll get one to you. So that's my prepared comments today. You should be able to ask questions in the question and answer area, or you could drop one in the chat. I've got both of those open. So I will give everybody just a second to do that before we sign off here. Okay, well, I'm not seeing anything come through. If you have any separate questions you'd like to reach out to me directly, I'd be happy to help. If I don't know the answer, I will work hard to find somebody who does. So thank you all for joining today. I hope this has been helpful. This is an area that we'll continue to talk about because it's evolving all the time. Scammers are getting better. This artificial intelligence thing, while being a great tool, opens up a whole nother can of worms for the ways that people can take advantage if they so choose. So like most good things that came along, like the internet, that's made our lives a lot easier, it can create heartburn as well. And so that will be an area that I encourage everyone to pay attention to, how artificial intelligence is going to impact your life, but also ways that it could cause you harm. And I do believe there'll be more and more resources. I think there's going to be more and more regulatory effort as to how those tools are managed. But it's crazy to me that you can just go into a computer app and say, what's the best way for me to buy new tires? And it'll give you a full article on how to do that. It's like Google search on steroids, but it's here. It's not coming. It's here. And so once again, paying close attention to what's going on is your best defense. Go to the source. And unfortunately, when you're online, it's guilty until proven innocent. We've got to be careful of all these things. Anything that feels strange usually is. Get a second opinion, bring in your family to help. And again, PrairieFire, we're always here as a resource if we can help in any way too. So thank you all for joining us, and we'll see everybody real soon. Thanks.